Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. And as always, we give peace and salutations unto the elect. The name of the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is Yahweh Bahasham, in the name of Yahweh Shai, the name of the only begotten Son of the Most High, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, Bahashem, in the name of Rahakwadash. All right, the Holy Spirit sent from on high in these latter days so that we, the remnant, can ultimately stand on our feet, starting with the servants, the prophets, okay, and the large multitude who would receive their words or ultimately would receive mercy, period. All right, ordained of the Most High through Yahweh Shai, okay? So we're fulfilling prophecy. The remnant will return, all right? And as we return, various things will be happening on the planet Earth as indicators that we're about to be delivered out of the hands of Esau Edom, who's in the final stages of bringing his NWO, all right, which John the Revelator saw and described it, all right? And we have it written so that we can see, all right? We're seeing exactly what John the Revelator saw, the NWO being established. He also saw the men of the Lord standing stiffly for the word, speaking against these things. Now, before this devil goes down, all right, he's going to try to bring as many souls as possible with him, see? And he's going to do it by tempting you in your flesh. And we're headed towards the hour of temptation where they bring the charagma and try to make the world make a full oath, all right, and to acknowledge its creator as Satan, ultimately, and X out the Most High, and ultimately destroy the men of the Lord and the faithful believers. And down the line, he plans on establishing an NWO where we will be forgotten, and that's in the scriptures. You know, the mass majority of the heathen are down with the program to X the nation of Israel out, okay, and establish their own thing, all right, with, of course, Esau Edom being the head. But the Lord, as it is promised, when they're about to fill their belly, he's going to slap, all right, he's going to slap the controller out of their hand, because the earth was only given into the hand of the wicked for an appointed time, and he will not pass those bounds. Now, this is another episode of News and Prophecy. All right. We go into the things happening in the news worldwide, link them to biblical prophecy to show you what times we are in. All right. Because the times that we are in are very, very important to how you should spiritually be preparing. Now, of late, the talk of the town has been what? All right. The food shortages, okay, which we've been telling you these things for years, all right, our apostles and elders going back 30 plus years, all right, but ever since, you know, I've been watching from 2007 to now, everything that the Lord put in their mouths via prophecy has happened, and it's happening on a large scale even more now, all right. Now, the food shortages are within the Holy Scriptures, and we're going to go into that because it's going to be a manufactured famine, all right, and that's going to be used as a tool to get people to bow. It's all about your mind, all right, and aligning yourself in a covenant with Satan. It's also to get rid of a whole hell of a lot of people as well, because according to the Scriptures, famine, as we'll get, is one of the many plagues the Lord creates for punishment. And we, the elect, we're not looking, these things are created for the wicked, just like the flood. All right, we're here to speak victory over these things, but at the same time, we do have to prophesy and warn the people. All right, now, this is a video uploaded by the brother Yahweh Maccabees 144. This video he did, it's called It's All by Design. All right, make sure you subscribe to the brother's page. It's All by Design. Esau is coming down with great wrath because he knows he has a short time. So we're going to play some of this video. I have a few clips from a few videos, one documentary, a few articles we're not going to go too deep into, but ultimately we know that the elites, all right, some you know of, like Bill Gates, all right, and they always like to just throw his name out there. In 2020 and years before that, there was all this talk of how much land they were buying up. Okay. It says America's biggest farmland owner, and this was in January of 2021, is now Bill Gates. All right. And he's constantly talking about how the animals on the farm are using up too much CO2 or whatever the hell they're talking about. And, you know, talking about this mystery meat and all sorts of evil they're planning, but they're hoarding all of the resources of the earth to themselves. All right. You have to understand, a lot of farmers have been bought out. All right. And forced out of business. All right. A lot of food has went bad, you know, dairy products, you know, and all sorts of things. Now, you can read this real quick. It says, in 2020, Bill Gates, I should have looked on DuckDuckGo because it gives a far better search, but I'm just doing this for the, just to throw it out there. We don't have to go too deep in it. We know the elites, all right, have bought and hoarded all of the resources to themselves, and this is just one way. All right. In 2020, the Bill Gates of hell, which shall not prevail, made headlines for becoming the largest private farmland owner in the U.S. All right, here it is. He's not a farmer, okay, and he's not a doctor. All right, but anyway, he had accumulated more than 269,000 acres of farmland across 18 states in less than a decade, and we know it's more. His farmland grows onions, and you think that these are real onions, carrots, and even potatoes that are used to make McDonald's French fries. Now, the McDonald's French fry is a genetically altered French fry that has 10 to 20 times more sugar than regular potatoes, which that's up for, you know, debate. You know, listening to Dr. Sebi, you're like, nothing's real. All right. But pretty much, you know, and that's why people get addicted to those damn French fries at McDonald's. Because, I mean, they used to taste good back in the day when we ate them, but ultimately it was the sugar that we were addicted to. And this is why diabetes, as well as various other ailments, are high. That damn junk food. Now, you shouldn't be eating McDonald's. If you made it this far, all right, to the point where you're listening to these videos, McDonald's should be the last thing that you're eating. But that's just an example. Shouldn't eat that at all. But billionaire NFL owner quietly buying up thousands of acres. All right. Why are they buying up all of this farmland? Okay. Bill Gates synthetic meat. Why are they constantly talking about synthetic meat? Okay, he wants rich countries to move to 100% synthetic meat to feed to the poor, of course. Why is that? Now, going back to this video, it's all about design. What's happening on the planet Earth is a manufactured food shortage. All right. Now, it's not that it's a food shortage because the resources and everything is there, but your means to getting them, okay, where they go, how fast they get there, all of these things are changing. Okay. That's what's happening. And as we always say, when it's all said and done, they're going to have the people begging and screaming and standing in long lines fighting each other. You know, there's going to be chaos. There's going to be, as the scriptures say, because of the lack of bread, people are going to be invading one another. All right. It's going to cripple the economy further. All right. There's going to be no more middle class. And pretty much when it's all said and done, they will be, all right, in a position, all right, to bring forth their order. All right, and say, all right, well, since everything's going this way, this is happening, we gotta reset this. We gotta do that. Here's what we're gonna do, and we know, all right, that it's all gonna be a mass enslavement. Okay, really, what they're looking forward to, and taking out particular people. Okay, who have you know, who are telling the truth about it all, and who are questioning. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. And we're not gonna play it all, and then we'll play some more, and we'll get some scriptures.
One thing that maybe surprised you most, something you learned the last year?
Well, I learned that people don't know as much as they think they know, but the biggest thing you learn is that the pandemic was bound to occur, and this isn't the worst one that's imaginable at all. Society has a terrible time preparing for things that are remote, but are possible, and will occur sooner or later. There'll be another pandemic, we know that. We know there's a nuclear, chemical, biological, and now cyber threat.
Yeah, and if you're not tired of looking at these people, if you're not tired of seeing them rule, if you're still listening to these people for advice, and if you still think that these people are telling the truth, then something's wrong with you. But anyway,
And we, each one of those has terrible possibilities, and we do some things about it, but it's just not something that society seems particularly capable and fully coming to grips with. The cyber threat, we just started.
Well, I got good and bad news today, TikTok. I never thought it'd come down to me, but I got this here contract. I got orders to clean out my shop, clean out my inventory, and clean out my cold storage. I said, I can't shut down. I said, right in my shop alone, I got 3 combines. Over in cold storage, I got one more. Got one more there in outside store. And there's 2 more over there. You can only see one. I said, that's a lot to get done. I can't just clean it out. And they said, you don't understand. We need your shop and your cold storage to store the combines for all these farmers that will not comply with their crop destruction. Contract clearly states that they are going to buy my business and yet rent my property, which I rent from a guy, so they're subletting it from me to hide this equipment, and I have to lock it up and hire an armed guard. I can't believe it. Watch for it on Emmett.
I'm sorry about the music. I'm going to recap. This is the container that was in the video yesterday, and we have unloaded the container. Freight is setting at ports. It is not moving, and we're talking ports around the world. Now, the freight that was on this container was shipped 37 days ago. This is that freight behind me. Somebody is intentionally hindering freight from moving back and forth. There are ports that are stacked. The directive is let it set. Let it set. I reached out to my largest customer, this customer, and that's what I was told. That the directive is let it set. We are definitely going to experience shortages, the likes of which you have never seen. This is truth.
Because shit is gonna go down. Money on stupid shit you don't need. Buy food, buy water, and buy protection. Because shit is gonna go down.
Alright, so real quick, I come to this Walmart every week to do grocery shopping, and I just want you guys to see something here real quick.
now you notice it's all Edomites, because Jake is still caught up in the bread and circuses. We'll get into all of that though, but check this out. Not that some Jakes ain't doing videos on these things, but you see the mass majority of the people speaking on this are the Edomites.
Everybody talks about a food shortage, and I agree with you. It seems to be happening more and more. Now, in my opinion, you're going to see it at a Walmart before you see it anywhere else. I'm opening some of the doors because it is hard to see, but there is nothing in these coolers. I mean, you have a few of these in your Walmarts first. That's all the shopping. That's wherever all the low income are every week. But my suggestion to everybody out there is get out, do some shopping, make sure that you are prepared. Everybody talks about don't panic buy, don't panic. I'm not telling you to panic buy. I'm telling you.
Now I'm going to switch to this video here. This is off of a call for an uprising. He does pretty good videos. You see the title of this one is Be Prepared because it's about to get worse. Empty Shelves Joe is doing his job. And Joe Biden, might I add, he's absolutely taken Babylon the Great right where we need it. All right. Through his administration, I believe the end is going to come. You know, I don't see another, 3, 4, 5 years of this place, man. Okay, because they're doing all of this, all right, for the purpose of setting up the NWO. Okay.
In a room, this is leaders from governments around the world who were meeting right before all this stuff happened to coincidentally happen. And now they're like, oh, this will work out because this whole thing happened. Now we can have the Great Reset. Oh, what a coincidence. And then we're going to have cargo ships sitting in the ocean and tell people that we can't get deliveries because there's a lack of truck drivers. Instead of telling people, maybe we shouldn't mandate potions on everybody so that we don't have a problem in the job market where we don't have people to deliver these products.
And that's the problem. That's the true problem. Here it is. People are arguing over who's juice and who's not. All right. But the true problem is what he's talking about. The fact that you're making it a law, you're mandating it. I mean, come on, man. That's going to lead to people leaving jobs. People are going to be SOL, which is shit out of luck. Excuse my French. All right. But that's what they want. Chaos. You wonder, why would they do this? Or why would they do that? Because they want chaos. These are the children of Satan. They don't stop. Okay.
Right? But instead, they just come out and say, no one's driving. We have a labor shortage. You have a labor shortage because people are losing their jobs left and right because you're going to destroy the middle class. You're going to destroy the dollar. You are going to take total control. And it's so easy to see. I can't believe that there's so many people that refuse to see this. Okay, other things that they're talking about, shortages.
Well, according to the scriptures, because he's on the Christian tip, according to the scriptures, people would believe a lie. Okay, once the man of sin would be revealed. Let's get that real quick because I have these scriptures in queue, but I'll start here. One of my favorite scriptures, 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. Okay, in the 8th verse, the end is going to come through the wicked being revealed. Okay, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. That's the prophets. Okay, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. All right, now, ultimately, it's the prophets, but as we always go into, the Lord has put his spirit on even heathen. All right, not the Holy Spirit, but he's put the Spirit on them to bring things out, to expose things. Okay, even other Edomites are exposing things, which this guy could be an Edomite or an Israelite, who knows, that we're looking at a call for an uprising. All right, but he fits that bill. He's not prophesying. He's not a prophet, but he is bringing out good information. The book of Joel, the Lord will put his spirit upon all flesh. Now the Holy Spirit is given unto the prophets for the secrets, all right, and the full understanding of the gospel. All right. But the Lord is opening up the floodgates of information on his devil. Okay. And it says, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, which are the chariots that are going to come. Okay. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. Okay, his coming is to do the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Okay, and we're seeing those lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. So the Most High, through Yahushai, all right, has angels that are sent to put people in the mindset of strong delusion and to believe a lie. Okay, you should know that, my man.
Of our gourmet spices. I mean, not that that's a big deal. Rice Krispie treats, Sour Patch Kids. There will be a shortage of paper towels and toilet paper, of course. And again, this will be a limit. You go to the store, you can get one thing of toilet paper, right? And it's not about, them worrying about if somebody else is going to have toilet paper or you're going to have too much. It's about control. It's about controlling how much you can have, what you can have. That's the same thing with this whole wages thing. This isn't about them caring about quality of who makes what compared to whom. It's about controlling what you make and controlling the flow of, not just the flow of resources,
Yep.
the flow of wealth, the flow of everything. Massive total control. And it also has to do with AI and everything else that's going on. So they're ready now. They're rolling this second wave, so to speak, of this food shortage crisis. And the best excuse that they have is a lack of drivers. That's the best excuse that they have. Oh, and a lack of production at these food places, the manufacturers, a lack of employees there. Instead of going, well, maybe it's, instead of making it mandatory for people to take the magic potion, we should decide if it's more important for people to eat and have food compared to getting the flu. I mean, it's so easy. Any world leader would come in and say, all right, if this wasn't a new world order all around, they'd come in and they'd say, okay, right? If this was really going on with the food shortages out on these, these cargo ships, the manufacturers who are paying for all of this would figure out a way to get drivers down there to pick up their loads of food. Otherwise, they go, we're going to lose millions of dollars potentially here. The food's going to spoil or whatever else is coming in. We're not going to make money for the holidays. We're going to go out of business. So we'd figure out a way to get drivers there. Whether it's the double guys' salaries, whether it's to be the actual owner of these places yourself and drive out there with your own truck, rent a U-Haul, and go and get it. There's no, nobody comes up with a resolution. It's just like, yeah, and it's just sitting there, out there, right? And what do they tell you on the news? Like, oh, Buttigieg, he's been home. He's the one who's supposed to be in charge of this, and he's...
See? So listen to a little bit more.
He's been home being a father with his husband. Oh, man. Oh, the New World Order, folks. The New World Order. It's laughable how obvious it is and how stupid people are if they don't see what they're doing. And people think it's a good thing. They're like, oh, I didn't know until recently that liberals were anti-capitalism. I mean, you got to be nuts. You want them to control the source of cash flow so that they can hoard it all and then we can all just be slaves? I mean, just because you're not smart enough to get, to make more money, then that's fine. Or try. I mean, you don't want these people to have all the food, all the resources. I mean, and that's another thing too, which just shows you that this is all so rigged and planned. All these cargo ships that are sitting out there, the products. There's like two people at the top of the chain who own all the stores and all the groceries and all the retail stores, and it filters down, right? Walmart, Target, but the same people own, Kellogg's and so and so forth and so on. Yeah, I'm sure they're not in on this because, like I said, wouldn't they go out there? Wouldn't they figure out a way to stop this from happening? I mean, we can all sit here and figure out ways, right? We can all brainstorm and say, okay, let's see. How many employees do we have? Can we get people on trucks? Can we train some of our employees to be truck drivers then to go pick up the food? Because there's no point in having employees work the cashier desk if there's going to be no products to sell, right? I mean, think about it.
Yeah, and I brought this out well. The U.S. Treasury Deputy Secretary warns that unvaxxed Americans, all right, warns unvaxxed Americans that shortages will continue until everyone is juiced. So they're coming from all over the place with excuses as to why this is happening. But we already know. All right, we already know, because famine, as it is written in the book of Sirach, the 40th chapter, starting at the 9th verse, death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge, these things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood. And we're living at the time of flood-like behavior, all right, the behavior that led to the flood, magnifying itself all throughout the planet Earth. Pride, evil, idol worship, adultery. I mean, the children are absolute prey. Okay, as the scriptures say. Let's get this. This is 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter and the 5th verse. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Okay? Their hurtful works are fulfilled, man. Evil is everywhere, man. So the Lord is preparing famine for the wicked. He's preparing famine for the unbelieving. He's preparing famine for the proud. But for the elect, though we will be tried, he's preparing salvation. Okay, as a matter of fact, in the book of Job, the 5th chapter, in the 19th verse, it says, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. Okay? In famine, he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. As a matter of fact, in this very, I believe it's the next chapter, it talks about when all of these things are happening. Give me 1 second here. Then shall it be known who is my chosen. See? Yep. Man. Verse 2nd Esdras 16 and 71, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So they're going to come after us, okay? And they're going to come after you fake, you people who believed in the other white meat. You had a zeal, okay? But not according to true knowledge as well. It says, then shall they be known who are my chosen. Okay? Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. You see that? Then the scriptures talks about be not afraid nor doubt, for the Most High as your guide. All right. It's verse 74. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for God is your guide. So hard times are coming, but as it is written, okay, Job 5:20, in famine he shall redeem thee from death. All right, so we're the elect aren't going to die of famine and all of these various different things, man. Now, of course, we have our set, trials. We know, it's going to be, it ain't going to be easy, but he's going to put it in us, and he knows our limitations. He's going to put it in us to get through this. Now, I also have this article here, which we don't have to read too deep into it. All right. Farm to fork. Okay. How the EU, now who's the EU? That's the part of the beast system. All right. And the Davos cabal plan to control agriculture. Okay. They're going to control agriculture. They're going to control, right, as we see, they're controlling the farmland. Okay. As we speak, they're putting farmers out of business. Okay. Now they're controlling what gets on the shelf, how fast. Okay. Which controls what's on your fork. Okay. Let's just read a little bit of this. Let's see here. I'll just jump. It says, whenever we hear the word sustainable, we should be well advised to take a critical look behind the nice sounding words. Okay, because they hide a lot in their words. In the case of the globalist Agenda 2030 and its 17 sustainable goals by 2030, the one for creating a sustainable agriculture, when looked at closely, will destroy a huge part of EU agriculture production and drive an already rising global prices for food far higher. So in the coming days, it's going to take more dollars to get less products. And that's here in the United States. Okay. And it's going to be hard, man. And there's going to be an economic collapse. The middle class is going to be gone. Okay. And they're going to issue forth digital money. All right. And that's going to play on people's flesh to lure them into the system. It says the EU Commission calls their Green Deal for food the cute title Farm to Fork. It's being backed by Klaus Schwab, Omnipresence, World Economic Forum, and their great, reset. All right. And Klaus Schwab talks about a fourth industrial revolution. Look that up. Just type in Klaus Schwab. This is his name here, in fourth industrial revolution. Okay. They've been wanting this very day for years, but now they see us waking up, so they're going even harder, man. It says, keep in mind that sustainable as defined by the UN and Davos World Economic Forum means achieving zero carbon emissions by 2050. Oh my goodness, these people are crazy. Yet there is no scientific study independently proven that CO2 is endangering our planet by creating global warming. All right. So particular animals, particular, ways that people would eat in times past, fruit, cattle, greens, they're going to change that. They're going to change what you're eating, and they're already doing it. Here it is. The earth has been here. All right. Close to 14,000 years. And now the problem is nature. Nature is the problem with the earth. Dealing with these Edomites. That's why they're going to be destroyed. And you're not going to see the year 2030, Lord willing, man. No way, no how. Oh, man. The Green Deal. And they even have things coming where, you're going to have a carbon card, how much energy you use up will be limited, it'll be on a card, man. All right. You won't have any more energy points. You've used enough energy or CO2 for the day. Take your ass home, or you can't buy this product. These people are absolutely crazy, man. Let me just jump to this point. It says in May 2020, the EU Commission released its farm to fork strategy. It says, let me go up here. The EU Green Deal says if implemented as is likely, it will cause drastic reduction in crop outputs, a severe reduction in meat, protein, and perhaps most dangerous, an overturning of current EU law regulating new gene editing crops. So they're going to come out with, more fake foods, more genetically altered foods for the sake of peace and safety. It says that will have global consequences. These people have to be stopped. It says in May 2020, the EU Commission released its Farm to Fork strategy. The official Brussels rhetoric makes it sound like a food nirvana is coming. Yeah, you'd think everything's going to be all right listening to how they, word these things. But Satan is behind it all, man. They come as a lamb, but it ends up dragging draconian measures, man. Okay? It says, they state the farm to fork strategy at the heart of the European Green Deal aiming to make food systems fair, healthy, and environmental friendly. Wow, that sounds super. They then get to the real agenda. We need to redesign our food system, which today accounts for nearly 1/3 of the GHG, the greenhouse gas emissions, consume large amounts of natural resources, results in biodiversity loss and negative health impacts. Nothing that they're doing is resulting in this, but nature is resulting in this now. This is a clever way of demonizing farmers and our food production as CO2 violators. The solution? New technologies and scientific discoveries combined with increasing public awareness and demand for sustainable food will benefit all stakeholders. What new technologies will be explained? How do the unelected bureaucrats in Brussels plan to redesign our food systems? Sounds so cute, doesn't it? To eliminate 1/3 of global greenhouse gas emissions by 2050? By forcing farmers to go bankrupt and demanding new costly inputs for production and radical new genetic manipulated patented plants with unproven safety? Do you hear what's planned for the future? Look it up. Now, you ain't gonna go to YouTube and find nothing good on it. You're gonna have to go to alternative media, but the information is out there. This is when you hear global warming and all of these various different things. This is what they're talking about. They're NWO. It's all a part of it. Okay, and they're getting control of everything, so they can control you. I was looking at a picture down here, man. In the comments, control the oil, and you control nations. Control the food, and you control the people. Here, Henry Kissinger, another devil. Okay, and another comment was pretty good here. When they removed seeds from our fruits, these also lost their flavor. When they made our vegetables resistant to pesticides, they also poisoned us. When they fertilized crops, all right, these grew big but carried no nutrients. When they processed and packaged our foods, we grew fat and sick. So now they're going even further with it. They're going even further with it, with this plan, all right, which this is a long article. I mean, you can check it out. Lord willing, I'll remember to put it in the description. Okay, but ultimately, they're demonizing the farmers. They're demonizing the ancient way of getting food to people. Okay, and they're now coming up with a whole nother method. They're now going to play the Most High on a whole nother level. Now, this has less to do, with the main topic, which is the famine. But this is what's happening now is leading to this is what they're fighting for. Okay. Above all, and here in the United States, there's all sorts of manipulated, gene edited, meats and plants, mushrooms, all sorts of things already in the aisles at the food markets, man. Even at what you think is Whole Foods. It says, above all, they plan to lift the current de facto ban on gene editing, plant cultivation, because there's particular bans. They want those lifted so they can be more of the devil and be more of God in their eyes. For those who do not know, it is the same unproven, risky technology used in the C19 juice, all right, of this guy here and that guy there. You can read it for yourself. Okay? Yeah. So, what they're trying to do with the foods, they're trying to do with the people. They want you. They want everything, man. Goodness gracious, man. Listen to this. EU Commissioner for Agriculture. All right, you can look that name up. I don't know that damn name. It says the farm to fork agenda. All right. Farmers will need to radically transform their production methods and make the best use of technological, digital, everything to be tracked, and space-based solutions to usher in the new agricultural transition. So they plan a radical transformation. Already this sounds, all right, crazy. I'll just say that, man. Okay. Ominous. You can look that up. But you can keep reading. Let's see here. The EU Commission, jumping down, the EU Commission in cahoots with Bayer. Remember Bayer and HIV? Look that up. Bayer and AIDS and the aspirin. Monsanto, we already know what that is. Okay. The true problems of the earth, or the part of the true problems of the earth, and other of the GMO business lobby are working hard to remove that court restriction on GMOs and gene editing and those things being put out for food. Commissioner for Health and Food Safety, Stella Kyriakides, said in their April EU study, the study we published today concludes that new genomic techniques can promote the sustainability of agricultural reproduction in line with the objectives of our farm to fork strategy. New genomic techniques with the emphasis for gene edited crops. Wow. Okay. Wow. So they make it sound so cute, right? But this is the plan of the devil, man. Heapeth unto himself all people, okay, and gather unto himself all nations, man. Let's get that in the book of Micah, all right? The book of Micah, the second chapter. This is why they possess dwelling places that aren't theirs. Because with land, what could you do? You could set up, all right, schools. You could set up stores. You could set up labs. Okay, you can set up institutions where you can forward your wickedness. Okay? Woe to the oppressors, Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and that work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Even a man in his heritage. Okay? Therefore, thus said Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. In that day shall one take up a parable against you, and lament with a doleful lamentation, and say, we be utterly spoiled. He have changed the portion of my people. How hath he removed it from me? Turning away, he have divided our fields. And what happened once he takes your field by the sword or by some loan he's giving you or some unrighteous decree? He does wickedness, man. Your culture is out of the door. In comes this, and you become sicker, you become dumber, you become nastier, you become more diseased. And this has happened worldwide. Okay? And then with the food shortages, all right, they're blaming the people for hoarding. People are hoarding. Food shortages are the next supply chain crunch. It says there's plenty of food. There just isn't enough processing and transportation capacity to meet rising demands as the economy revs up. Now, you would have to ask yourself, the powers that be, if they loved you, are they even worried about how you eat? Or are they worried about something else? Do they have something up their sleeve? Because it's not adding up. First, you got the whole demic. Okay, that was supposed to be 2 weeks, and now look where we are. And now you're not going to take into consideration that people are losing their jobs. The reason that people are losing their jobs and not able to fill the void of these particular demands is because of these stupid mandates. But the people are going to get blamed. You see? The people are going to get blamed. But in a nutshell, ultimately, a siege is coming. There's a siege being formed, all right, especially around you Israelites. Okay, what is a siege? Where they're systematically cutting off how food comes to you, how you get around about in the earth, and trap you into a system either for your death or your mass enslavement, man. In 70 AD, there was a plague, man. I mean, a siege.